So a couple hours ago, ESPN released their FPI for the college football season, and I don't think these are ever noteworthy, but this is it's really bad. I mean, I know this is a computer, but like it's really awful. I want to go through this. So Georgia at one, it makes sense. You have Georgia returning their starting quarterback. It's usually gonna give them the number one team for the foreseeable future. Oregon at two. Also, the top four makes sense. We'll lump them all. Georgia, Oregon, Texas, Ohio State. I still think Ohio State is actually like a not a tier above. I think these are the four S tier teams, the four best teams in college football. But I would have it at. I would actually almost flip it completely. I would flip Ohio State and Georgia. I think Ohio State's one. I didn't think it's Oregon, Texas, and Georgia. But I meant they're all the top teams. I don't think this has Georgia like I don't know how this works with the points, but they have Georgia and Oregon like I don't know if this is head and shoulders above Ohio State and Texas, but top four's fine. I mean, I wouldn't. I get the love for Georgia, and Alabama five. I mean, it's hard to. I guess it's a computer, so I say it's not like a guy ranking and say like, oh, it's hard to put Alabama below four. They lost a lot of talent, and they kept a lot of talent. I guess they still keep. Again, it's Alabama keeping their starting quarterback, so I get it. I don't think Alabama is a top five team in the country. I think they're closer to the like 7 to 9 range, but no complaints. Penn State at six, I feel again a little high. Notre Dame at seven feels high. Oklahoma at eight is really where I guess like top seven, sure. Notre Dame. I mean, the top seven are all top 10 teams in the country. That's fine. Top four are all top four teams in the country. Oklahoma can go like 7-5. It's their fault. No, it's more their schedule's fault. I mean, you can see here on the, I have Notre Dame projected as like a 10-win team, but then like Oklahoma's an 8. But I mean, their schedule is just so hard. I think they'll probably win like closer to 7 games. So this actually kind of feels fair. Tennessee at 10, that makes sense. Missouri at 11 makes sense. Same with Florida State at 12. Michigan at wait. So I look at okay. I have the Tennessee at 9, Missouri at 10, Florida State at 11. That all makes sense. Michigan at 12, maybe a little low, but they are losing a lot of talent. They still keep Will Johnson. Quarterback's really my big issue for Michigan. LSU 13 makes sense. A&M, every computer is gonna rank them high. I mean, I just don't see them being a top 25 team at all. Maybe I mean, who knows with A&M? They can always be a top 25 team. They always have the talent to do it, but they just never do. Clemson 15 makes sense. Ole Miss at 16. I don't understand how any computer system people anybody doesn't think they're in the here range. Like I think 7 is their floor right now for like where they should be ranked. I would honestly have them as like the fifth best team in the country. With Lane Kiffin's a great coach. They've had success over the years. They just won 11 games, and they go like crazy in the transfer portal. They keep their starting quarterback in Jackson Dart. They go and get Walter Nolan. They had the best transfer portal in the entire nation. They did lose Quishon Junkins, which sucks, but I just don't know how you can't have a team with a. Oh, they also have them as projected like a 7.9 win team, which is crazy. How you have a team that just won 11 games, returned to their starting quarterback, and had the best transfer portal in the entire nation at 16. Kansas 17. Yeah, I see it. But they have Kansas as the best team in the Big 12. I just realized that. That's insane. USC, and 7-5 feels right for them, but 18th in the nation. Auburn 19, Florida. Yeah, that makes sense. Florida could honestly be a top 25 team in the nation and still end up 6-6. Louisville at 21 makes sense. Kansas State at 22 makes sense. Miami at 23. Arizona at 24 is absurd. I mean, they're disrespecting the Big 12 so hard. Arizona at 24, Oklahoma State at 26, and Utah at 27. Oklahoma State and Utah are two top 10 teams. Oklahoma State maybe top 12. Utah's definitely a top 10 team. Arizona is like a top 20 team, and they're just all sitting there. Kansas is not. I think Kansas is fourth in the Big 12. I think Utah's 1, Oklahoma State 2, Arizona 3, Kansas 4. But Oklahoma State and Utah are up here. It's just disrespected. I can't fathom. I was only going to go over the top 25, but Colorado all the way here to a 36 is like doesn't really make sense to me. But I mean, it is just an awful, awful list. So for me, I'm not going through or making my own top 25, but the top four is fine. You need to have knock out Oklahoma all the way down to like the 25s or something. You need to get Oklahoma State up here, Utah up here, Texas A&M needs to be lower, Ole Miss has to be way higher, Kansas, USC, Auburn could be lower, Florida could be lower, SMU at 25 feels high too. They can be lower. Just kind of going through the rest. You have UCLA really high, Nebraska really low. These are kind of just going to all be the group of 5 teams. There was one team I saw them missing. Hold on. Virginia Tech at all the way down here feels low. Northwestern, actually, yeah, that's fine. Alright, I'm rambling with these teams. I really want to focus on the top 25, but I mean, it is really. I just can't fathom how like bad this is. Like, I know this is. I want to go by wins too. Look, they have Oregon winning the most games, 11. Projected 11 at least. Georgia, Ohio State, then Penn State. So 3 Big Ten teams feels crazy. Notre Dame, I can see being up there playing an independent schedule. This makes a lot more sense. So I know. Actually, I want to see this too. Who do they have as the highest group of 5 team? Because I think the group of 5 is really interesting now with them having a playoff spot. Does Oregon State count? No, they're going to count them as a Pac-2. They didn't even know they play a Mountain West. That's cool. Boise State. They have Boise State as the best whatever team. That would make sense. They get the number 1 QB in the nation 2 years ago. And yeah, alright. So this is an awful list that I just decided to rant on for a few minutes, but thank you guys for watching. Join the Discord server.